Hey guys, it's Adam. I hope you're doing fantastic. Welcome to Do You Watch Anime, a show where I sit down with a guest every week and ask them, do you watch anime? And we go from there. And today joining me is voice actor in such anime as possibly the greatest alchemist of all time, Kaiju number 8, and the banished court magician aims to be the strongest. Zac Loera, how are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Good, good. So, do you watch anime?
All the time. All the time. Yeah.
So, how did you originally get into watching anime?
Um, my brother and we used to watch like Toonami a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of, I think that was like our first introduction to it. It was a lot of like Inuyasha, Dragon Ball, anything that was really playing, late at night.
Yeah.
And then also, like Saturday mornings, I think it was always like Yu-Gi-Oh! And, a lot of Pokemon. So that was, I think that was pretty much our intro to anime.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I love that. So what are some of your favorite anime?
Man. So I'll do the like controversial one last. Or the controversial ones, plural. But I really love Overlord.
Okay, yeah.
So when I got to do that movie, that was super cool.
Yeah.
I really loved My Hero. I mean, start to finish. I think I might have been watching that like before I was a voice actor, maybe.
Yeah.
But My Hero is a good one. I loved Erased as well. Erased is probably like one of my top. And then like my comfort anime that I know people hate on it because like there's so many videos people like just shitting on this first season. But Sword Art Online, the first season, first core. I don't know what it is.
Wow.
I think it's the setting.
Yeah.
I think, and there's obviously a lot of things that were not great about the show.
Yeah.
Like they honestly could have like stretched that over multiple seasons and gone through all the floors. But it was just like, oh yeah, here's floor 5. Oh, now we're on floor 65, and I'm like, what? So, but I loved that like each floor was like its own like world.
Yeah.
And that people didn't have to necessarily advance. They could just live there, and I was like, that's cool. I want that. So that one, and I really love any like cooking shows.
Oh.
So like Delicious in Dungeon, campfire cooking. Like I recently got my wife into campfire cooking.
Oh.
And another one that I love, again, is controversial, and I didn't know this like until I was at a convention and I was doing a panel, and I said it, and everybody started laughing. I was like, "What the?" But I get it. But it's so Food Wars for me was
okay.
Was a good one. Yeah. And this is crazy because I hate fan service. I can't. I can't stand it. I think it's stupid. It's useless. But I mean, like when I first started watching it, I just thought like, wow, that's really over the top. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Not like, oh, I'm gonna goon to this right now. No, that's not the point of it to me. Like, and I even made some of the food like on the show. And I did a convention with the director, Kyle.
Okay.
I can't remember his last name.
Yeah.
But I did a convention with him a couple weeks ago, and I was talking to him about it, and I was like, oh, you directed Food Wars. That's really cool. I was like, it's oddly enough, it's like that and Haikyuu. I think he directed Haikyuu too, which I joined a volleyball team because of Haikyuu.
Heck yeah.
And I also, I went through like several dishes. I realized I hadn't even introduced myself yet. And I was like, oh yeah, I used to make like all the food like that was in the show. And it was like, also I joined a volleyball team for Haikyuu. And, he was like, okay, who are you? And I was like, oh, I'm at the table behind you over here. He's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, but those shows, I do love those shows.
Yeah,
and they're in their own respect. But yes.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. One of my friends did the same thing. She joined a volleyball team because she loved Haikyuu so much, and I was like, I get it.
So good.
Oh, it's so good.
It's so good. And I've been in the booth with I think Bryson Bogus does his voice. Yeah. Or he has his voice, and I hadn't put it together, and I was just like we were talking about like conventions, like agents and things like that. And I was like, yeah, I'm trying to get with this one agent. And he's like, oh yeah, I'm with her. She's really good. And I was like, what's your name? And he was like, oh, Bryson. I was like, damn, that sounds so familiar. And then like we did whatever show we were doing.
Yep.
And I remember because it was like me, him, Drew Breedlove, and I think one other like bigger voice actor.
Yeah.
But I didn't know who any of them were until afterwards.
Yeah.
And then Aaron Dismuke was directing, and I didn't realize that I'd been listening to him my whole life too.
Yep.
Until like I googled him all afterwards, and I was like, oh my god, how did I not know who you were? So it was weird, but Haikyuu is a very good show, and Bryson's obviously really good in that role too.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god! So what is it about Overlord that makes you love it so much?
Because for me, it kind of started out as like an isekai, and I think like its core, it still kind of is.
Yeah.
But now like we've kind of like abandoned that, like, oh, he's from another world and now he's in this leveling system, and he's trying to figure out how to like do certain things or whatever. And now it's more just like a true fantasy anime. But like I really loved that we could hear like his like internal voice while like seeing like Ainz and seeing like all the badass things that he can do. And then it got really weird around season 2 or season 3 when the lizard people were like incorporated, and then there was just like lizard sex everywhere, and I was like, whoa, this is weird.
Yeah.
And but like, I mean, the characters are so well written to me, and that like he has there's always something going on behind the scenes that like whether we know it or not, like with this movie especially, like the big bad was like, it's his side dude, that was helping him throughout this whole thing, and staging, spoilers, staging like a coup essentially. But I mean that show, I think I know for sure that I was a fan of that show before I started voice acting, and so that show to me is everything.
Yeah, and I think it's severely overrated. Like whenever it comes out, I'm like, okay, cool, and then no one talks about it, and I'm like, hello?
It was super weird because like, I mean, I used to rant and rave about this show, and then like to the couple of friends I had before I was voice acting, and he was my best friend. He's a huge Naruto fan, and so like we just like didn't see eye to eye on a lot of anime, and not that I don't like Naruto, I do. Just he watches it all the time. Even he's probably seen it like 8 times through.
Jesus.
So but anyway, I do not remember where I was going with the story. Oh no, I remember. Okay. But like people just don't talk about it enough, and I feel like when this movie came out, I was like, oh yeah, I can't wait to. I went to go see it in theaters, and I was like, I can't wait for everybody that couldn't go see it in theaters because it only released in select theaters, to watch it on Crunchyroll or on Amazon or whatever, and it was just like months. And like all this time went by, and all these people were messaging me like, hey, I thought this movie was coming out in March or April on the streaming service. I was like, yeah, me too, because the Daima movie came out around the same time. And that movie like was within like 2 months it was on Crunchyroll, and I was like, where the hell's Overlord? But yeah, like I don't know what, like it used to be like this huge like flagship show, and now all of a sudden like it's I don't know. It's kind of flown under the radar. It's kind of dying down. I don't know. But I've gotten to work with, Chris Guerrero on a lot of different things, and it's cool just to like, I'm like, hey, I'm a big fan, But a part of me too, like that was one of the shows that like, I don't watch a whole lot of like sub and dub shows. Like if I start something in sub, I have to finish it in sub. If I start something in dub, But this was one that like I started in sub and watched all the way through with subbed, and then I went back through the dub and watched all the way through the dub. I was like, I love it. But just the way that the Japanese pronounce Ainzu Lugo, like, it was just like the way it rolls off the tongue is so cool.
Oh my god. So besides Food Wars and Sword Art, what's an anime that you have to, when you recommend it to people, you have to go, I swear it's good?
Oh man. There's probably several. You know what? Let me pull up my list really quick. Because I'll definitely have a few on here. Not definitely, I'm not weird, but I have a long list of shows that okay, watch list. I guess not in a way that like it's like dirty or anything. But I did really enjoy. I'll do three. So I really, 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 really enjoyed God Eater.
Okay.
I thought the animation was like almost like, you know, kind of like Berserk kind of thing, where it's like not quite 3D, not quite standard animation. So that one, it is kind of it's a very gory show. So that's probably something that a lot of people don't like, you know, or that kind of triggering them. World Trigger, that's kind of a slow burn. But that
I haven't heard of that one.
That's from a while ago. Mm-hmm. But it's and it gates to another world open Makedo City. Invaders from another dimension referred to thereafter as neighbors. And it's kind of like Power Rangers, I think, if I remember right. Like they have like these things, these like trigger things, and then they morph into like their suits, and there's different abilities that they have, and they it's like portals that open up that they have to like close or whatever. And there's like a whole tournament arc. I actually really enjoyed World Trigger a lot. And then my other one, there's a movie that I'm sure people have heard of, but not a whole lot of people have seen, I think. I think it's either Zero or Gantz Zero.
Okay.
That one, very gory, but solid movie.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. See, mine's like Uzuki-chan wants to hang out. Because I'm like, I'm always like, once you get over the jiggle physics, it is a very cute romance. I swear to God.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, "Yes, I swear."
Yeah.
So switching gears, you play Takumi Iruma. There we go. In possibly the greatest alchemist of all time. What was your reaction to being cast?
Man, I didn't. So when I got the email, I was like, okay, it just says like, hey, Jerry Jules casting you for this role. Do you want to take it? And actually, I have the email here. I'm going to pull it up. I'll read it verbatim. Is interested in casting you as a character, talking to me in the possibility of greatest alchemist of all time. Blah blah blah. It is unknown at this time exactly how much his character will appear in the series. That's what the email said. And I'm like, okay, it's got to be like a, you know, character, you know, like a side character kind of thing, because I don't get cast in lead roles. And I just said, yeah, I will gladly accept this role. And then Tara, who she's the person that sends us all of the casting emails, she's like, great. I should have also noted that this is the lead role, so you can expect a significant amount of recording time each week. And my response back was, oh, holy hell. Okay. And then I was like, thanks. And then she's like, LOL, you know, whatever. And then we went to, you know, scheduling stuff. But yeah, I honestly, like, I was thrown. Because then obviously now I'm Googling him. And he's straight as, you know, he's on the cover. He's on all the things. And I'm like, oh man, this is a lot of pressure. So I started reading the manga, and I absolutely love the manga. I thought the world building was great. The character development was really great. Like there's a lot of relationships that like we established, and like he kind of has a harem, but I don't know. I mean, I love like trash isekais, and this show, I mean, yes, is a trash isekai. But that's that's like one of the things that I love, and I will die on that hill. And people are like, "Oh, I'm so tired of these." Like, no, like, give me more.
Yeah.
And so like we did like the first episode, and I'm like, is this the kind of the right, tone that you want for this character? Because like, typically like I get cast in like the, really the gruff ones.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, actually, this is a 40-year-old salaryman, and he's, reincarnated into a 17-year-old body. I think technically in the manga he was 15, but then they scaled it for 17 for reasons.
Yeah.
And so like we did the whole show, and like once I finished episode 12 of season 1, I was like, we're done. I was like, I don't know if we're gonna get a season 2. We did get a season 2, by the way. But I was like, do you have any regrets for casting me? He was like, no, absolutely not. He was like, he was like, and this is kind of got me like teary eyed too.
Yeah.
He was like, I knew you could do it. And I've told this story before on podcasts too, but he was like, I knew you could do it. He was like, the producers didn't think you could do it. I was like, interesting. I was like, he was like, I had to fight tooth and nail to get you into this role.
Wow.
And I was like, okay. He was like, there was like 3 separate meetings that I had to actually, solidify my choice in you. And they had all these other different people that they wanted to see in their role. But I wanted you. And I was like, great.
Hell yeah, Jerry. Oh my God.
Yeah. Jerry fought to have me in that role. And I was like, cool. And I think it ended up working out because like, it's not typically, again, something that I do because he's very, and hoity-toity, whatever. But it was really fun. We got a season 2, and now we also have an official DVD release. So it's something. Nothing that I would ever expect because I didn't even know. Like nobody even told me at Crunchyroll that this stuff was happening. The season 2 information I got tagged in some Twitter post by a fan.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's awesome. The DVD I wasn't even told about. I was told to come in for pickups, and it said HV on the casting thing. I was like, what's HV? Like, oh, home video. And I was like, okay.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's super fun.
Yeah.
Super fun.
Yeah, it really surprised me. It came out of nowhere because I was like, "Oh, it's just another isekai, right?" And then I saw like the cast, and I saw I saw the first episode, and I was like, "Ooh, this feels different,"
Yeah.
Yeah.
To me, I think it is, because like it's not like a he's not like overpowered in any way. He does find ways to kind of cheat the system just like every other kind of like isekai MC does, but also like with things that I thought was going to happen through the show, like I thought we were going to get a whole lot more into like the first town that he was in, but I think he ended up leaving you the first or second episode. I was like, where is this going to go now? And I was thoroughly disappointed in I wouldn't say thoroughly disappointed. I was disappointed in episode 12 when we got a lot of slideshow animations. And then like we also got slideshow stuff when he was going through the dungeons around like episode 10, 11. I'm like, why are we slideshowing the things that people want to see? It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
Because I really, dungeon delving, I love dungeon crawler games. Like I want to see that.
Yeah.
Show that to me.
Yeah. Oh my God. But yeah, it was fantastic, and I'm excited for season 2 because again, like I said, I was one of those people who was like, ugh, it's another isekai, and then again I saw the cast and I was like, okay, this is a really good cast, and I watched it and went, this is not your average isekai. I like this,
Yeah.
Yeah.
The cast is really, I mean, like I become friends with a lot of these people too. Like just we were like, oh, you're this person. Like, So like D, we're good friends. She plays Sophia, and also Braden Medlin. He plays I can't remember his character. he's the blue-haired guy. I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
He's probably gonna message me after this episode drops. But like I'm always sending him Magic the Gathering stuff, and we're always making fun of like other voices in the show, mine and being one of them. But I love Popik's voice. I think Popik is like easily the best character in that show. Just the way we talk to me.
Oh yeah,
the way that he.
I was so happy. I was so happy they did the like mouth thing.
The pinch. Yeah.
Oh, so good. Oh
yeah,
my God.
it's so funny to me. And Jerry, while we're doing the show too, like Jerry will read every other like character's thing to give you context, but he'll read it as an impression of them doing their character. And I was like, "Are you Popik?" He was like, "No, it's not me." I was like, but you sound just like him. I mean, just like him. I can only imagine what he did for other characters when I wasn't in the studio. But yeah, it was a lot of fun to record. We had a lot of inside jokes. Like, Takumi was really into Jesus because he kept talking about the Lord. But it was the Lord of the village. But he would just say the Lord. Yeah. And I'm like, he really loves Jesus. Yeah.
Oh my God. So, from an acting perspective, how did you approach a character like him?
So I think I might have said this before, but I was just trying to get into the space of like, can I sustain my voice being this high for 12 episodes? And also like in other periods where like he's excited or he's screaming or things like that, like, can I actually do that? Because I mean, I have it's not like, Patrick Seats kind of thing, but it's lower.
Yeah.
So, like that was my biggest thing. And so I was like, okay, I was reading through the manga. I was kind of like reading it in his voice. And that was like the biggest help I think that I had with that. And then I got on, Audacity, which is what I use to record stuff. And I just started kind of like reading through the manga and listening back to what it sounded like. And I'm like, okay, this could work. But I really like when I did some of my auditions, not for this show because I didn't audition for the show, which is great. But when I've done auditions in the past, I do audition for like those like teen roles because I thought there's something here, and I really enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
So the one thing that I've always kind of impressed upon myself when I do those is like, I'm trying to do my best Bryce Papenbrook. And that was, I swear to God, that was like, that's what I'm telling myself. Cause I'm like, sometimes I feel like I was losing it. And I'm like, okay, what would Kirito do here? and that's, I feel like that's what really just kept me in that headspace, and ended up working out. I think, I mean, like his voice, yeah, like my brother always, teases me that he sounds like Mickey Mouse. I'm like, it's not nearly that level, no. I think. But there was a whole hate post Reddit thread about like which MC voice character, whatever, do you hate the most? And it was like Takumi is like the main image. And yeah, that guy ended up watching the rest of the season. I was like, it's not very bad. I get it. He's like, actually, I loved it. I think you're really good at it. And I was like, okay. Yeah. It's a weird flip flop, buddy, but we'll go with it.
Oh my God. So you also voice Ryo Ikagura, in Ikaruga, sorry, thank you.
Yeah.
In Kaiju number 8. Like, how was it getting to be in such a huge anime like that?
It didn't really. I didn't really know how big the show was going to be until I saw the first trailer, and I was like, "Oh shit!" And I think I worked with Sean on a couple of different shows before that, and he he told me, I think he told me, or somebody told me at like a gathering, he was like, talking about the show, and he was like, yeah, I've got something for you. And I was like, okay. And because I remember auditioning for the show, and I was like, oh, I really want to be, damn it, where is it? Oh, yeah, here it is. I really wanted this guy.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Ben signed this for me.
Yeah.
But I think this is just the coolest print in the world.
Yeah.
Which is why it was in my drawer, not hanging up on my wall. But I really wanted that character because that fiery whatever that I feel like that kind of fell in my wheelhouse. And,
yeah.
Well, I didn't get any of the characters I auditioned for, but I guess he saw something in this. God damn, what is this guy's name? Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, but he saw something in that audition that was like, okay, Ikaruga is your character, and I was like, that's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So you got pulled in, and I had a hard time recording for it because like I talk fast, and it's a big problem of mine, especially when it comes to like ADR stuff. That's a big problem for a voice actor.
Yeah.
And so and you could talk to Jerry about it too. I mean, Jerry's like, okay, well, you have more time, so let's slow down on this. And that's that was a lot of my problems too with Kaiju number 8 is that I just could not slow down because he's always yelling and there's always like, this intensity.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't find that middle ground of like being excited without talking too fast. So that was tough. But I did really enjoy. The only thing I did enjoy, and this is true for like every show that I really like, My Hero. When I got to do the final season for that, I was like, I can't see this because I'm not caught up to that point yet. But like that's like the spoilers. I couldn't because like my wife really loved the show too. And she's just like starting to get into anime, and I was like, we have to watch Kaiju. Like, it's such a good show.
Yeah.
And you get to hear me, whatever. And so, we were watching it, and while I'm in the studio doing it, I'm like, can I not see any previews? I don't want to see any preview. Just let me do the thing, and then let's move. Let's just keep going.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to spoil anything for myself.
Oh my God. I get it. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So you play Ornest Rain in The Banished Court Magician. How is it getting to play a character like him? Because there's sometimes where I'm like, please, sir, shush.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, you dumbass. But you still love him. How was it playing a character like that?
He is easily the most fun I've had.
Yeah.
Doing a character. Somebody told me once at a convention, he was like, I remember because he was on the phone with his friend that couldn't be there. He was in Florida. And so they were both talking at the same time. It was really, it was a lot.
Yeah.
But he was talking to me and he was like, yeah, this is Bakugo if he had his shit together. I'm like, you know what? That's a good way to put that. So I've been telling everybody, about that. And, so yeah, he is a lot, but he's like, I mean, it's in my vocal range.
Yep.
Which I was like, check. I got to work with Caitlin Glass again. She's cast me in a couple things. I'm like, that's great. And with everybody else too that's in the cast, like just working with them and getting to do these conventions and hang out with them is really cool.
Hi, I'm Steve Yurko.
And I'm Tara Sands. Now available from Maji Media is our new podcast, 4Kids Flashback. 4Kids is the company who brought you the English dub of Pokemon in the late 90s and so many other shows like Yu-Gi-Oh!, Shaman King, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Kirby, the infamous One Piece dub, and so many more.
We'll be talking to the people who worked at 4Kids. Actors, directors, writers, editors, producers, engineers, you get the point. And hopefully get the answers to questions both you and I have about the company.
I actually worked there as a voice actor on some of the shows.
And I was a kid watching the shows and remember way more than Tara does.
and thank God for that. Steve is actually a professional storyboard artist, which gives some really unique insights into anime and animation. Subscribe today wherever you get your podcasts. That's the number 4 Kids Flashback.
Hey guys, welcome to the Patreon portion of today's episode. And if you want to join the Patreon, there are a few different tiers, like shoutouts on the episodes, as well as exclusive videos and behind-the-scenes content, and so much more, and even the episode a day early. Thank you to Gio, Keith, Blythe, Bunny, Mikey, Sheba, and Brooke. And if you want to join the Patreon or find out more, the link will be down below. And yeah, back to the episode.
Yeah, he's really fun. He's in my vocal range, and I got to do like a whole, wide variety of emotions, which is really fun. And I get to scream a lot, which, boy, is that harder than I thought it was going to be. Almost passed out a couple times.
Oh boy.
Did lose my voice a couple times too.
Good.
Yeah. And it was funny because I think it was episode 2 or 3 maybe, where like he's getting his leg bent and wrestling with Cracia. And it's funny because like that episode, there wasn't even like yelling. It was just like me like always kind of like and it was just like several takes of that. And eventually I was like, oh my God, I have another session right after this for another character. And I was like, I have to chill for a little bit. I was like, we have to break this up a little bit. So but yeah, he's a super fun character to play. I love him.
Oh yeah. And he was one of my favorite parts of the whole show. So how was it getting to voice a character that was kind of like a dude bro, but he had some more layers to him than that?
Yeah, he did. I mean, he's so like, he did have this like, oh yeah, I'm the whatever kind of douchebag-ish, initially going into the show, very, very full of himself. And that was, I'll lean into that, whenever I can. Yeah. But it's, I think it was like episode 9 or 10, when we got like flashbacks in through his life. And so you get to see him like when he was like a kid into a teen and now, grown. And I was like, I remember going into the studio and being like, Caitlin, please tell me you did not cast somebody for, younger Ornest. And she was like, actually, I thought you could do it. And I was like, that, please, I want to do that. Yeah. Like that would be so cool. And she was like, let's get a couple of takes and see if we can establish something. If not, I'll also kind of refer to you for, if I do need to cast somebody, I'm going to see what you have first. And I was like, okay, cool. And so like we did a couple of takes, ended up working. And I was like, I think it would have been really funny if we cast Brandon, my brother, for this, for his like younger role. She was like, yeah, that would be really funny. And she was like, and so like we joked about that for a while, but like I remember she said that, like she was having a hard time finding a vocal match because like, even though he's a kid, he still had this like gruffness to him, which was really strange. You don't really hear gruff children, so that was very interesting. But I love that we got to see like that he's not just being an asshole to be an asshole. He's there's a reason why he was doing what he was doing. So, but that, I do. Again, I love that character so much. He's so much fun to play. And he's got a cool earring, which is his spear, which
that was so sick. Yeah. Oh my God.
I didn't know. Cause like the first time I got a print made of him, he had the earring in and he had the spear. And then like I started watching more of the show and I was like, oh, the spear is the earring. So I was like, we can't use that. I thought that was his character design is just like super cool to me.
Oh yeah. And like when that like got revealed when he took it out, I was like, let's go. That's so sick.
I thought it was awesome.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And I love too about the show is that like, you know, it's a fantasy anime and everything was animated. I was like thoroughly surprised that everything was animated. I thought they would just like cut to things and have like crazy backgrounds, but it's no, it was fully animated. And I was like, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
I haven't done episode 12 yet because, you know, with the holiday breaks and everything, but I'm hoping that this show gets an season 2. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It was a big surprise because I was just like, okay. And then I, again, like the, you know, I was like, okay, let's, you know, I know Eduardo very well. So I was like, okay, let's try this out. And I was like, damn, this is so good.
Like, I mean, everything about it.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people just slept on this show, which is fine. I mean, it's not a lot of people's wheelhouses, but you know, like Eric Vale is playing a bad guy.
Yep.
My character fought Rico Fajardo. And so I'm like, all of these like top notch people. And then here I am just trying to get by, you know? But yeah, it's super cool. I love the show. I think it's fantastic. I mean, there's nothing else to say about it. I think it's great. I think more people should watch it.
100%. I took one look at Derek Snow's character and I was like, piece of shit. And he was.
And he was. Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's funny because we did a kaiju signing like way back when the show like when those episodes were coming out.
Yeah.
And so I would look over at Derek and I didn't say it, but in my mind I was thinking, God, that guy's a dumbass.
Oh, I love it. Oh my God. So with doing like background voices and Walla and stuff, were there any like projects that you like walked in and were like, holy shit, I'm recording for this show?
Dude, it's several. Like Solo Leveling, Frieren, Gachiakata, the final season of My Hero. Like, I mean, all of these shows I had no reason to be in. But a lot of it too is just like right place, right time. Chainsaw Man, like I was finishing my character Fujin in One Piece, and Mike McFarlane was like, "Hey, I got this other show. Like, do you want to step in?" I was like, "Sure." And I was like, "What is it?" He was like, "Chainsaw Man," and I just had started watching Chainsaw Man. I thought this show is so good.
Yeah,
and then like he was like, "It's for Chainsaw Man." I'm like. And so like we were doing that, and then there was another one where he pulled me into Hell's Paradise. But the only thing is that it was weird because like he prefaced Hell's Paradise and not Chainsaw Man. He was like Hell's Paradise. He was like, "This is the next big show." He was like, and it was just like a random background character. Actually, I think it was the first voice you hear. I'm the burning bridge man guy.
Okay, yeah.
And so he was like, "I need the most like blood curdling scream that you can possibly muster for this role." And I was like, "Okay." And I'm like, and he's like, "No pressure, go ahead." And I was like, "Mike, how dare you?"
No pressure. There you go.
Yeah. And he does this thing too, where like if it doesn't sound the way that he wants it to sound, he'll give you a line read. Which, you know, like as an actor, you don't want to get line reads because it makes you it's just demoralizing, right? Yeah. But he is doing that because he knows you can do it, and he's very particular about the things that you know that he wants to hear. So, and he's used me in a lot of different stuff. You know, God bless him. But that was it's very. Whenever he calls you in, it's nerve-wracking. It's really nerve-wracking. It's a constant sweat fest. And it's also like he challenges the hell out of my like voice acting terminology knowledge. Okay. He's always like, yeah, let's get a Pete repeat and then roll in on this. I'm like, oh God, okay, yeah. And it's all very quick.
Yeah.
You know, for him, like, it's like, oh yeah, time is money. I'm like, I'm getting paid for 2 hours regardless. So like, I'm just going to take my time on this. But yeah, like that show, like Hell's Paradise Chainsaw Man, Solo Leveling too. That was, I think I was doing, Caitlin had cast me as Dogra Ket and Nina the Starry Bride.
Yeah.
And she's like, great, we finished our thing. You know, do you want to, he's like, we still have like 30 minutes. Do you want to jump in for Soul Leveling? And I was like, okay. Sure.
Yeah.
And so, you know, doing that. And I'm like, shouldn't be here. I shouldn't be doing this. The show's way above me, you know? But yeah, I mean, I look, if I was directing in these kind of different shows, I would be so particular about who I bring in, even with the Walla, because like Walla, it kind of it brings everything together, right? It mends the pieces that are missing, or that would be missing. You can't just walk into a village square and it be quiet or just the MCs talking. Yeah,
yeah.
You know, it rounds everything out. So to me, like I would almost have to cast the Walla group, because like, you know, you can't just bring in anybody for that.
Yeah.
To me, right? But then like then she brought me in and I'm like, I guess anybody can do this, you know? So
oh my God.
I mean, please, Caitlin, for the love of God, keep bringing me in. But, you know. Yeah.
Oh my God. So how did you get into acting in general?
Boy, I was acting from a very young age. One of the first shows I ever did was at Casa Manana in Fort Worth. And that was, I don't know, I think it was like 3 or 4, I think. Maybe 5, I don't know. It was so long ago that I only have like one memory of it, and just everything else that, you know, my family had told me from the show. So, but I mean, I kind of, that's where I started, you know, and then I got really good at just like doing like impressions and doing, you know, recreating things I saw on TV. Like my brother and I, we watched A Few Good Men once, and then I was like, oh, we should totally recreate this with our home video camera and in our bedrooms. Like people would watch the shit out of that. And we did. There's a video somewhere of him playing Tom Cruise's character, and I'm Jack Nicholson. So I mean, it's out there. Shit, it might even be on YouTube. I don't know if we ever posted that, but you know, we were doing that like when we weren't doing, you know, school theater and you know, musical theaters and things like that. So I was writing my own stuff, like, you know, like screenplays or stage productions when I was in junior high and high school, and they weren't any good, but I was doing it.
Yeah.
And now, you know, with having like kids and like a family, I don't really have a whole lot of time to go out and do theater stuff. You know, it's like you don't get paid full time, but it's a full time thing.
Oh yeah.
You know, cause like 3 hours of rehearsals every night. And then, you know, all the shows that we got to do, like I just didn't have time for it anymore. So then I was like, what can I do that is acting, that is, you know, just doesn't take up as much time. And so then I started doing movies. Like I would get on like doing like casting calls and like representing myself and like, you know, doing that whole thing. And so I jumped on one movie. It was called 10. I've never seen it. I was just supposed to be like a background extra, whatever. And he was like, we need some guy to like cry because this is a funeral and you're supposed to cry, and you know the main character well, you. And it was me, and I was like, oh fuck. And I immediately started like sweating. He was like, that's great. I'm like, I'm sweating, I'm not crying, this is sweat. And
sir, I swear.
Yeah, I know. It's coming out of every other hole besides my eyes. And yeah, so I mean, I did that, and then I was like, oh yeah, I'll just keep doing stuff like this. And then I had kids, and I was like, oh, can't do this. And so, and then I started doing, or I did one other show for theater when I had my kids in, I think when I had my first kid. And then I met Sean, and Sean pulled me in, or referred me to Joel McDonald to do One Piece. And now I've been doing it ever since.
Damn. What was it jumping into One Piece for your kind of first introduction to it?
Oh, I was terrible. I don't know how I got brought back. I'm like, genuinely, it was it's out there. Mm-hmm. Like, and I've been tagged recently, like people, like the diehard fans, man, they find anything you're in.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how they found it, but they found it, and it doesn't sound good. I don't know why he continued to bring me in. I don't know why. My first role, I guess, was I was one of like the princes or prince guards and the Fishman Village arc for One Piece.
Oh wow, yeah.
I remember like he was like dying. He got I remember that he got crushed between a boat and like a cliff, and like tried to stop it. I don't know, and Joel was like, yeah, you just need to, you're getting crushed. You need to scream. And I was like, he was like, okay, let's do it again. And so like I mean, I did it several times before he was like, okay. He was like, you've acted before, right? And I was like, yeah. And so, you know, but I'm just so nervous. Like, my end goal for being an actor was to do stuff for Funimation.
Yeah.
So like when I finally got in and to do that, like, and it didn't help too. Like they made me wait in the waiting room for like an hour.
Oh God.
And I'm like sweating.
Yeah.
And he finally like comes back. That's when they used to like walk to the front and come get you and like go walk back to the studio.
Yeah.
And like I'm seeing like everything. Like I'm nervous because I see all the booths on this side. On this side is a giant mural of Dragon Ball Z and like some other characters and shows. And I'm like, oh my God, this is the real deal.
Yeah.
And I don't even remember who the sound engineer was. He wasn't even there for me. Like I know like somebody else was in the room because Joel was like, what the fuck is this guy doing? And you know, that was the first experience I had. And I was like, okay. And he was like, look, just let loose. He was like, after those 3 beeps happen, just let loose. And I was like, sure, whatever. So I was just super cringy, but I flipped my hat around and I had it to the back. And I was just like, I want to be the very best.
I was going to say like Pokemon.
Yeah. So I did that. And then like I did my scream, and I guess it was good enough that he was like, perfect. I know how to direct you now, and brought me back.
There you go.
He was like, and then he was like, hey, I make everybody do like these snail bits, like, you know, like the snails. He was like, this one particular snail like rewinds things. He was like, can you give me your best like rewind sound? And I was like, okay. And this is me not coming, like I didn't do like a whole lot of like weird like voices or whatever. And he was like, so here's the preview, here's what they did in Japanese, and you know, let's go ahead and get yours. And I was like, okay. And so he was like, so the 3 beeps come up, like boop boop boop, and I was like, he was like he was like, what was that? And I was like, it's the sound that you wanted. He was like, okay, thanks. He was like, we'll cut you a check. And so like they cut me a check and I left, and I was like, I called my brother and I was like, I think it really, really well. It didn't, but they brought me back. So whatever.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
So who's a character that you've played that you relate to the most?
That I relate to the most. I mean, it's probably going to be Ornest. Not in the sense that like that I'm like, oh yeah, I'm the best, I'm a genius, whatever. No, not in that way. That like he will do anything for his friends, and that I relate to that. Even like his childhood heroes or that kind of thing like that. Yeah, I would totally be that kind of hard-headed in that I would never lose sight of that. So probably him. I was trying to think of like another character that like that's dead now. But like there is one character that I guess he's a character in Ancient Magus Bride.
Okay. Yeah.
That I played, I think it's in season 2. But he like gets like stabbed in the head at some point with a spear, and I'm like, I don't know why I related to that guy, but I was obviously because like I don't want to get stabbed in the head.
Yeah.
So probably that guy too.
Yeah. So if you could go back and have a conversation with yourself when you started voice acting, what piece of advice would you give yourself?
The advice that I would give myself would be to just have fun. That honestly, like, because I was so uptight about like how things should sound, or like how I kind of like carried myself, like you could feel like it was just like tension all the time, and that's probably the biggest thing too. Is I always carried that too in auditions. Like I talked to Chris Wetcamp, and I was like, yeah, dude. I was like, I've got several named characters, and I'm in like a lot of different shows. But I want to do more, and like for more other studios. And I was like, what's your biggest piece of advice, actor to actor? And he was like, honestly, I started getting a lot more roles when I started doing the audition, and I just did the one take, and he wouldn't record anymore. Like they'll give us the option to do 2 or 3 takes. He's like, I just do the one take. And he's like, and his reasoning was that that first take you do is going to have the most of yourself in.
Yeah.
So instead of trying to conform to whatever the director, is looking for, or what they want, you're bringing your own spin or your own iteration of what you think the character should be. And that is what I think directors like more. So I just started doing that too. And I did end up getting some roles from it. So I think because I used to like over engineer that shit out of my auditions, like to the max. I'm like, oh, does this sound good? Does it sound good? And I was like, oh, I got to cut these together. I was like, oh, it doesn't sound natural. Like I do it all again. It was just that whole thing. So yeah, that's probably what I would tell myself. Have fun and don't over engineer things.
Mm-hmm. So what's a like dream genre of anime you'd love to be a part of?
Dream genre. I did get into campfire cooking for like a role, for like a really small bit.
Yeah.
Like all my character did was oh, and that was it. But I would love to do a cooking show.
Okay.
Like if there's any kind of food involved, I want to be in that show.
Yeah.
Like there was a show that Sean had that I was disappointed that he didn't cast me in, and I know he's going to watch this because he watches all of the interviews that I do. So Sean, I'm looking forward to that. It was like that. I don't even remember the show's name. Damn it.
Well, there he goes.
He's not going to catch me now. Son of a bitch. Cupcake something or dessert something.
Okay.
Damn it, I don't remember the name of it. I'm sorry, Sean. But Yeah, I mean, like I want to be involved with something in food. He did bring me in at cast, but he did bring me in for Pass the Monster Meat, Milady.
Yeah.
That show's a little weird. That show's a
Yeah,
little weird.
A little bit.
Yeah, that show's a little weird. But thank you for that, Sean. Thank you. So yeah, I want to do a food show. I want to do a food show really bad, like a named character or like a main character for a food show.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, because I was like, Laid Back Camp season 25. Let's go.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So, what has been kind of the hardest lesson you've learned since starting voice acting?
Do not rush into anything.
Mm-hmm.
That was my biggest thing. You know, when I started, I was like, oh, this is so great. Like, I'm working in the same building as Todd Habercorn. Like, I am the next Todd Habercorn. You know, that's what I thought, you know, if I tell myself this enough, then it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
That's not how it happens.
Yeah.
The biggest, I wouldn't say it's advice, but it's kind of advice, but like the biggest mindset that you can kind of put yourself in, like when you start doing voiceover stuff, depending on like what you go into, like character or so like animation or, you know, audiobooks, whatever. But the biggest thing for me was that like, I was like, where's my named roles? I'd been doing Walla forever. And I was like, maybe I should just stop doing this. I was like, no, because, you know, it's not, I'm not relying on this as like my sole income. This is just something that I'm doing on the side to act. That's what I'm doing, as I'm acting and I'm having fun acting. So I had to like, you know, take several steps back and like just kind of relax into it. But somebody told me, you know, it might've been Stephen E. Mullering. Or is it A? Damn it, I always forget.
Yeah.
But he told me, he was like, you know, it's generally like 5 years, doing like 5 years or so of Walla, and only doing Walla roles, coming in for some bit characters every now and then. And then, you know, after that, typically after that much experience, then you'll start getting brought in for named roles. And that kind of followed suit to what kind of my experience has kind of been following along that same route. Because I started back in 2017, you know, took a couple of years off for family stuff, and then COVID happened, and then really hit hard voice acting in like, you know, late 2020, early 2021, and then just doing a lot of Walla stuff, and then finally getting, you know, some character stuff. But again, I was doing classes, you know, I was paying my dues. There's only one person I know of that has ever been just like thrust into the world of voice acting as like a huge character, and that's Jack Broadbent. Great on you, dude. I think you sound great. But yeah, it's very unheard of.
Yeah,
it's very unheard of, and you got to be a fan of it too. You know, Joel McDonald told me of this guy, you know, that he thought his voice is great. He's gonna be the next big thing. And then he was like, you know, what's your favorite anime? He was like, anime's for losers. And then Joel just like didn't bring him back in.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, that's just kind of how things go, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the expectation I think that new people coming into it should have. Not that it will be what happens.
Yeah.
That's how you just don't get ahead of yourself. That's the biggest thing.
Oh, I love that. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, man.
Of course. Of course. Where can the lovely people find you online?
My wife got me this neon sign of my handle.
Sick, yeah.
So, but if I didn't have it on, because you can't see it, it was on. No,
yeah.
Yeah. And that's not even the brightest. Like it goes like way brighter than that. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I would probably be better about posting on my Instagram and Twitter if I had more people follow me. So maybe that. I have a TikTok too, but I don't really, I don't really post there either. But yeah, I will be better about posting if people are following me on those things to post.
Yeah.
I also have several conventions lined up for the year through, I think, April. So I'll be all over doing conventions for Otaku Food Festival, I think I have another couple of bigger ones, but those aren't solidified yet, so I won't talk about those. But I definitely will be in. Let me tell you. Where is my agent? There she is. January 31st to February 1st, I will be at Balcones Heights Otaku Lunar New Year Festival at the Wonderland of Americas from Saturday to Sunday. And then a bunch of other ones through February, April, March, whatever. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah. Hell yeah. All of those links will be down below. Follow me at Corky Cosplays on Instagram, Adam Corky everywhere else. You can subscribe to the Patreon. You get exclusive videos as well as episodes a day early and behind the scenes content. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Peace.